Greetings, Earthlings. My name is Zero Jake, and welcome back to Space Engineers. Now, you'll notice that we're standing on top of a commandeered, well, I say commandeered, destroyed commercial freighter. As you can see, the recon took a lot of bullets, and then also lost its main engines. Because I don't look properly. I also think that's fine. Okay, both batteries are fine. Yeah, but we've lost our main thrusters on the recon, so I can't really get back to the base easily without capturing this. So I continue to try and capture it. And I succeeded by getting all of the turrets to run out of ammo. Yeah, it's not exactly the best way to do it, but we are just going to get rid of that turret. And then there's this turret over here, which can die. Thank you. And then there's another one which is in flames somewhere. I don't remember where it is. This was a turret. It's now gone. Ah, this one. Yes. There we go. So that's all the turrets taken care of. We just now need to take control of the ship if it has a surviving control station. That's the thing, really. It might not have a surviving control station. And then we can park it down on the planet and harvest the rest of its goodies. Yeah. So from that episode, we've learned that doing that's a bad idea. Yes. But we do have, some more materials. And if we have a look in our assembler... Ooh. Yeah. I've been doing a bit of mining. The reason why the freighter is back at the mine is because I've been doing mining. I think that would make it a bit obvious. But if we run up here, we can have a look at our lovely table of stuff. We've got 1.4 thousand gold. Which, for the things I want to do, is not enough. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, so we need to make a lot of shield components. Field emitters. Problem is... Moth. Problem is that these shield components are expensive. Field emitters are expensive. They cost 5 gold each. And then if we look at what I want to make, which is this, a station shield emitter, 850. So, on a technical level, right? Technically, if we get 4,250 gold, then we'll have enough to make the station shield emitter. For a ship field emitter, it's a bit more respectable at 2,000, but we also need a controller, which luckily does not require shield components. The air pressurizer doesn't require shield components either, and we're going to want that for when we build the station shield emitter. Yes. Yeah, shield enhancer doesn't use any, the modulator doesn't, so literally we need several thousand gold. Now if I bring you to our lovely freighter, just requires me getting out of here. I can't wait until I can pressurize this entire base, because then I don't have to use the airlock doors. Yeah, we're just going to leave the commercial freighter there for now. I'm going to salvage it. But we arrive here at our lovely outpost. Sit in the seat, because I don't want to instantly kill myself. Well, I don't want to kill myself by not knowing. So we have a look at what we've been doing here. And as you can see, we've mined out quite a bit of area. However, there's gold here. And the drill, as it stands, does not have the reach to get to that gold. Which is annoying, to say the least. Now there are a couple of ways that we could improve this. We could add more drills onto the side here, which allows us to move this conveyor back even more, which allows us to have another piston and extend the reach of this, which is the sensible option. Or we place because this can be merge blocked to something, because it's a physical block, we merge it to another rotor and piston, and we place it in a new location that can actually reach all of this gold. We literally just go and we pick you up, we move you, we place you down here, and you mine again, which is to say in a kind way, just lunacy. Yeah, lunacy is the word I'd use here. So yeah. Now if we go into our inventory, I need to load up on cargo. Ah, we've already got gold here. Interesting. Hide empty, show me. Actually, yeah. Hang on, I put all of you in the... Oh. I'm partially an idiot. Large. Thank you. So we've got 9,000 ore here, which will translate to nothing at all, as per usual. And we'll just bring the rest of these materials with us. Now there is an alternate way of for us to get gold that is a bit more reliable than using a drill, and also requires significantly less setup time, and that is we bring along the mining ship. So we're in space now. Yeah, space, that thing that we don't go to that much, because it's very easy to get gold. You find an asteroid with gold. Oh god, what was that? That was me not having the batteries on, that's what. Yeah, and you just mine gold. But, you know, we've done like a segment of mining, and this is how much gold we've got. 5,000. So, you know, nothing to scoff at, but we need a lot of gold. More specifically, we need, well, I don't know. Shall we have a look at what it requires? Yeah, let's quickly... Yada, yada, yada. Gold, yes. Or, no, I don't want that one. I want the one that actually gives me the information. Not .fandom, I want wiki. Thank you. Okay, so the refined mass per kilogram is 10 grams. Okay, so we plug into our calculator, okay, we need 4,000 gold. Times that by 10, we need 400,000 iron. No, not iron. Ore, yes. 400,000 ore. It's stupid. Like, I don't think even this vein that we've got here has 400,000 gold. But we don't need 400,000. We need, like, 260,000, because we've already got some gold on board. Now, you may question, right? 400,000, yeah, we could probably fill up a cargo container full of that. Like, that is way below our limit in terms of how much we can carry in the ship without it plummeting to the ground. So, yeah, I'm going to be mining some gold. Okay, so we've returned to base with a sizable amount of gold. The refineries, which should be in this building here, should be hard at work making, well, refining the ores that we collected. We can go take a look. We've got about 200,000 stone, 15,000 uranium. Yeah, 424,000 gold is the amount that we've got here, and 55,000 iron. So it's going to take a sizable amount of time to process all of this. So we'll be back when that happens. Okay, so having done a bunch of mining, because I also needed a lot of platinum in addition to the gold I required, we now have all the shield components I require for what I want to do for this episode. Yeah, so we've got, hang on, if we scroll in here, we can see at the bottom of that list we've got somewhere, give me a second, can't see, resolution's not good enough. We can see we've got 1,150 shield components, right? Which is enough for, wrong button, this one, which is enough for one station shield emitter and one ship shield emitter. So we can have one on the base and one on the military escort. So we can use that to steal ships instead of the recon, which has taken a lot of damage. The shield on the military escort should be a lot more powerful than that one, the one that was on the recon, which means that it should be able to take a lot more fire because it's made of heavy armor and therefore has more hit points, and it's a large grid, and yada 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 yada. Right, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to build the station shield emitter so that we can see how much power that will consume. Now, I've built this platform here as a beginning of what we want to do, and I've welded it up so that it can't damage things, but underneath we're going to have a lot of large reactors to give us a lot of power, and on top here we're going to be placing our station shield emitter. So, and what we can do is we can place one of these station shield emitters in all four corners, which means that taking out one of the shield generators means that we still have our shield. So, right, let's get ourselves some parts. Right, place this down and try and weld. That was 3%. Oh no. Don't do this too. Okay, right. I'm going to quickly make this easier for us. Actually, remove that from the list. Thank you. I'm going to make this easier for me by placing some conveyor junctions, or rather conveyor pipes, so I can easily access the cargo container without having to go up and down constantly. And then I'll be back once I've finished welding. Yeah, that's going to take a while. Well, it's a good thing I'm not doing anything else this evening. Okay, so we have ourselves a station shield emitter that has been constructed. I built a welder. We then also have a shield controller table, a shield modulator, and a shield enhancer. I'm going to go through what all of these do in a second. The shield emitter emits the shield. It is the thing that consumes the power that generates this massive force shield around us, which my camera is not placed in a proper position, but force shield, right? I've modified the parameters so that it covers our entire base. Effectively, well, we've seen shields before. I added shields onto the recon before I managed to destroy it. Well, destroy part of it, and then destroy more of it in testing. So basically, any time that the grid, or any grids inside a shot, they'll produce particle effects and not do damage. Or rather, they will do damage, but they'll do it to our shield instead of the grid itself. This means that we have a lot of effective hit points, so to speak. This much effective hit points, 249,000. Now, the amount of hit points that you can have is based on the amount of power generation the grid that the emitter is placed on has. So the more reactors we place, the more hit points we can get. So if we fill this up with large reactors and we keep it fed with uranium, that's going to be the problem. We need a proper power supply. Then this base will have an ungodly amount of hit points before, you know, it goes down and then bad things happen. So yeah, that's pretty good. You can change the shield charge rate by moving it up or down. Moving it down decreases its charge rate but increases the maximum amount of hit points you can have. Moving it up increases your charge rate but decreases the amount of shields you can have. I'm going to keep it at 50 for now until I find a better way. You can then manipulate the, because this is a station, you can manipulate the size, the width, height, and depth of the shield and offset it. I've already put in these numbers, which allows us to have it centered on the center of the base and produce a shield that goes around it and includes the underside as well. So that's pretty good. We've then also got some additional stuff. This is a bunch of options: show refresh, show hit, wave, and then we can change the shield look. So we can change it from high reflective to medium reflective blue. If we feel like a blue shield is what we're after, probably stick with the blue shield for now. Most of the science fiction stuff that I consume uses blue shields for some reason. So yeah, that's about it that we've got here. And as you can see in the bottom left, because we're inside the shield, you can see the HUD for it. as we saw in the recon previously. Move outside the shield, and we can't see it anymore. Move inside the shield, and you can't see the blue field, but you can see a bit of a shimmer. So, you know, you won't be able to see it all the time, but you will be able to see it when it matters. Cool, right. That's the emitter. We've then got a modulator. Now, the modulator allows us to change our effective defense against certain kinds of weapons. Kinetic is all of the bullet-based stuff and also collisions. So we can move it towards kinetic to stop any grid from getting in. Or we can shift it towards energy, which is protection against EMPs, which warheads are now capable of doing an EMP instead of a regular explosion. And explosives. I think it's explosives. Because there's not many other energy weapons that exist. So missiles produce energy, supposedly. And then you've also got a shield access frequency, which allows you to type in the frequency of whatever emitter you're trying to access, and then you can fly through it. I didn't word that correctly. Let's word that correctly. Okay, so say, for example, we want to set up a shield frequency so that only certain kinds of grids with their shields online can enter, despite the fact that any grid that's friendly towards me can enter. So we go like, I don't know, Babbage as our thing. I can't remember what Babbage is from. This may or may not prove useful. So any grid, right, that is owned by my faction or is friendly with my faction, or rather, if it is friendly with me, can enter the grid, right? At least I think friendly. Owned grids can definitely enter, no matter if they have a shield engaged or disengaged. Any ship that is either neutral or enemy that tries to enter our force field will collide with it and bounce off of it, unless it has a shield modulator with the correct shield frequency. So we change this shield frequency to Babbage, and then we can pretend that this station can now enter the shield instead of being bounced off of it, if it was a neutral or an enemy grid. Yeah, that's basically what it does. The modulator is here just so that I can change the protection. It's not really useful again on a station. And then we've got the shield enhancer, which has a couple of passive effects. First of all, it is doubling our effective power supply that we can throw towards the shield. So it increases our max hit points and allows us to repel grids that try to enter, right? So without the enhancer, enemy grids that try to enter will enter. With the enhancer, they'll bounce off. Now that's it's a bit weird to say that and not show it, so we're going to show it. Can use terminals, good. Right. I'm going to move over to a testing field. Yes, a testing field to demonstrate this effect. Okay, so I've already got a grid in my copy and paste. Let's place it here. Cool. This is a grid that I made ages ago, but it's the only real kind of fighter that I have at the moment. So this fighter is owned by me, right? It's owned by me, which means that I can fly through it and it's fine. Right, I can fly through the shield and I won't bounce off of it because this is how this works, right? I own the grid. Let's turn around so I can brake, shall we? Yeah, so that's all fine and dandy. I'm just going to slow down at some point. Thank you. And then we're going to throw down a shield modulator on it, right? Just grab ourselves a shield modulator, plonk it on here, and then we're going to access it from inside the menu. And say, hang on, did I keep Babbage? I probably did. Right. I'm just going to double check. No, I don't want to reload the current multiplayer session. I'm just going to double check that I actually did put Babbage as the password, or rather, haven't removed Babbage as the password. That's probably the better idea. Control panel, modulator, no. Control table, shield frequency, yeah, Babbage. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our lovely interceptor, and we're going to change its ownership to nobody, so making it a neutral grid. Neutral grids can't have access unless they have the correct modulation frequency. Those are words. Yes, they are. So we're going to grab all of this, set it to nobody. Set it to nobody. Thank you. Apart from I didn't do all of them, I did one. Sometimes I could do this properly. Okay, so this grid is owned by nobody, right? Nobody owns this grid. It is a neutral grid, right? If this had an antenna, it would be neutral. Okay, good. We've gone that out of the way. So we have our shield modulator equipped, right? Shield modulator. It has Babbage as the frequency, and it's on. So we're going to go fly through it. See, we can fly through it. There was a bit of a shake. That's probably a client-server desync, to be honest. It's probably detecting, we should do collisions. But no, wait, we're fine. We don't need to do collisions. Because we're on the same team, yes. Because we have the same modulation. If I disable the modulator, and I do that again, you know, after I, travel the length of England decelerating this ship because it only has main engines on one side. Yeah, this was from a while ago, and it doesn't even work properly. Right, yeah, so we fly in with our modulator disabled. This is why I turned on invincibility. And it still works. What? That doesn't work. Maybe turning it on and off doesn't do anything. Right, let's change the modulation to nothing. How about we... Hang on. Come with me. Let's throw myself out here. Place this back. Yes. Right. Let's try that again, shall we? So our modulator has no frequency in it. Well, this is still part of testing, right? So we're going to fly into the shield. And we're going to take some damage. As you can see, there's some damage. And, you know, we've lost a bit of the ship. And, most importantly, the cockpit. Which is not the best, right? Didn't lose much. We weren't going that fast. But slowly but surely, we are going to lose this ship. So I'm just going to delete the batteries so it no longer has power. Apart from that didn't happen. Okay, I'm going to paste another copy over here so that we can do some more testing. And say, for example, we wanted to fly at a stupid speed. Why am I here? If I'm going to fly at stupid speeds, then I'm going to move somewhere else. Right, let's move backwards. Here we go. Alright, and now we're going to accelerate up to, I don't know, engagement velocity, or rather orbital bombardment velocity, because people are going to try and do that. We strike the shield, and debris flies everywhere. Most of it should go upwards, including remains of the ship itself, but scrap metal will start flying downwards. Now, because of the way that we've built this, if things are going to do this, I don't think you deal any damage when hitting the ground, right? Yeah, we're just going to be peppered with scrap metal. Give me a second. I can remove all the scrap metal. Other. Remove floating objects. Right. No more scrap metal. Yeah, so basically, if it's effectively impossible for the other people on the server to access my base unless we're friends, or unless they have the shield modulation frequency. I'm going to change that off camera and never show it again, so that you tricksters can't get access to it. Yeah. So we have a shield generator. It now protects our base. In between episodes, I'm going to install a shield generator on the military escort and equip it with weapons and what have you, and we'll use that to capture ships instead of the recon, and I'll salvage the rest of the recon. Good, good, good. But until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.